Hey everyone, I'm Marbozir and welcome to another Civilization 5 game vote poll. So this is going to be a vote for the game that I will be doing in May 2014. I will be using some new mods that I didn't use before. These won't all be used in every single option in this poll, but I wanted to show you what they actually do before we go into actual games. So first of all, I added some modded civilizations. Again, I won't be using them in every single game, but I wanted to show you what these are. I looked through quite a few modded civilizations and I picked two civilization packs that I really liked. So the first one are JFD civilizations. These are not all of the ones that he did, but they are the ones that I kind of liked. They are the majority. There are some more mods that are not enabled, so obviously I do have comunitas on my list, but I won't be using comunitas in here. So these civilizations right now include Armenia, Hungary, Kingdom of Franks, Vandals. This one also changes the Ottomans, their unique ability. There's Kingdom of Norway, there's Prussia, Grand Duchy of Lithuania, and I'm also using Colonialist Legacies Civilization Pack, which includes the Philippine Republic, the Mexican Republic, Canada and Australia. So these are the new civilizations that will be included in at least one or two options in this poll. I'm also still using Smart AI. I will be using Smart AI in every game in this set. So every game will have Smart AI. And as usual, I am using Info Addict. And I'm also using one more mod that I found to be quite interesting. This one. I usually don't use gameplay or game balance changing mods, but I quite like this one. So this mod adds new luxuries to the game and optimizes resource distribution. And the more important part is that these new luxuries don't feel out of place. They actually look and feel like they belong to the game, which for me is very important. If something feels out of place in the game, I'm having a hard time playing that. So I tried this for a bit and I quite liked it. This probably won't be included in every single game though, just in some of them. And I'm also using a mod by the same exact person that adds pantheons to go with the new luxuries. You will find a full list of all these mods in the description below. So I won't be going through every single unique ability and unique unit and building that these new civilizations add. But I can go through these civilizations so not every description actually lists them. So as I said, there will be links to all of these mods in the description below. Let's go into actual games now. I'll probably make a cut here because with all these mods, it takes a while to actually get the game started. So this is the full list of mods in use for this first game. These are all the mods that I will be using in the first game. Let's actually set it up. Okay, I took my time to set this up because this is going to be a special case. I will not be randomizing all the AIs. I manually picked all the AIs that are included in the civilization packs that I'm using. I think I had to leave Australia out. Sorry, Australia. I might do one more options like this and boot someone for Australia, just so Australia doesn't feel left out. Anyway, the map that I will be using for this game is Frontier with Pangea landmass type. I actually set resources to sparse. I want to try playing with that setting. It might lead to some interesting resource wars. I set sea level to high because I don't mind having some naval warfare, especially with Smart AI. That makes AI actually able to move and fire on the same turn. But I just don't want naval warfare to dominate the game, which is why I set the landmass to Pangea specifically. And I will be playing on epic game pace, deity difficulty and large map size. Every game in this set will be on deity and epic game pace. Not every game might be on large map, but I wanted to use large map for this to include as many new civilizations as possible. So this is the game with all modded civilizations and I will be playing Prussia myself, at least in this option, because they seem to be very interesting for my playstyle. Now, their military buildings, like the barracks and armories, the barracks and armories specifically, get the general specialist slot, which generates points towards great generals, as you can see right here. And they also have plus 15% combat strength for military units adjacent to another military unit. So this is the same as Discipline in Honor Tree. This is their first unique unit. This is actually quite interesting. This is basically a replacement for the Knight, I believe, that you can spread religion with if you buy him for faith. And he earns a mix of faith and gold from kills. And if you buy him for faith, you can spread religion up to 2 times. I assume you actually need a belief to be able to do that. That's probably the case. And the second unique unit is this. Plus 10% flanking bonus, can move after attacking, and replaces... Yeah, this is actually a little bit confusing with the interface mod that I'm using. Because it definitely doesn't replace the pikeman. It requires rifling, it seems, so it probably replaces the rifleman. Yeah, 34 combat strength. I assume this replaces the rifleman. So let's actually start this game and see what kind of starting location we get. Okay, here we are then. The buildings that include a general specialist slot also include military academy. So barracks, armories, and military academies all get a general specialist slot. So let's see what we got. Oh, we actually have the new luxury resource, the perfume. So that's kind of nice to see. We can move a little bit. Alright then, this is the first starting location then. It looks interesting. It's actually a little bit low on luxuries. I only have 1 luxury and 2 copies of it. We do have a castle to the north. I would probably settle on spot. There's no river, unfortunately. I could have access to fresh water in the city if I move. If I settle on top of the perfume, I would be able to get a garden in this city. Either way, this is game number 1. I'm going to save it. There's a river right here. I'm going to save it and generate another one. So, see you then. Okay, so this is going to be a second game with all the modded civilizations. This time I did include Australia, and obviously I also included Prussia because I will be playing as Hungary myself. It seemed quite interesting and a little bit different. Slightly dependent on actually having a religion, because the way Hungary works with the mod is that the faith you earn 25% of defensive strength of your cities following your main religion in faith. So that's kind of interesting, and during wartime, faith from cities following this religion contributes directly to the training of military units. I'm not sure how exactly this works, but this sounded pretty damn good for war. And hey, it actually makes faith kind of useful. Obviously, this is a little bit dependent on actually having religion in the first place. But that's Hungary, that's their unique ability. And they also have a Hussar, which is a replacement for cavalry, I think? Or what? Seems to be a replacement for cavalry. And it has enhanced flanked attack. That seems to be the case. I don't think there's anything else new about it that cavalry doesn't have, just enhanced flank attack. And the unique building is a replacement for a castle. 25% religious pressure for a city when at war against a civilization following a different majority religion. Okay, that's quite interesting. So that's the game. The map I will be playing on is Sandstorm, which is a map I wanted to play on for a while now. I'm still playing on the large map, data difficulty and epic game speed. I set the landmass type to Pangea. I left resources on standard, because this is harsh enough terrain assist, but do keep in mind, a lot of desert also means a lot of floodplains, so this doesn't necessarily mean this map won't have big cities. It will, for sure. Other than that, not much else to say about this setup. Let's get started then. So here we are, let's check the starting location. Yep, as I said, we have quite a few floodplains already. I will move right here to see a bit more. Okay, we got sugar and incense in range. We actually have jungle in range, which is kind of funny. But that's just one jungle tile and it has a luxury on top of it. So I will have to chop it. If we move one tile, we could have a city next to a mountain for an observatory and also next to a river. This would be a pretty good location. And I would still have sugar in range. So that's the starting location. I will save this game and roll a new one. The next one will be quite different. Okay, so this next game, game number 3, will have all the modded civilizations turned off, but I'm still using more luxuries and more pantheons, and obviously I'm still using Info Addict and Smart AI. So let's set it up then. Okay, so this next game will be a more standard game, but I will be using a map template that I never used before, which leads to a slightly different game, which is the Terra map template. This creates a world similar to Earth, where all civilizations start on the continent, like the Asia, Europe, Africa, old world. And there will be a new world, a whole separate continent that's not colonized at the start, that doesn't have any civilization starting on it. So this can be quite interesting. Obviously you don't want one of the AIs to dominate that entire continent, especially on deity. So I'm still playing on epic game pace, on large map and deity difficulty. With this kind of template, a lot of leaders could actually start pretty close to each other, because again, you will have a whole separate continent with no one starting on it. So on this map template, I should have all the civilizations starting very close to each other, which could lead to some early game wars. I did randomize the world age, temperature and rainfall, because why not? And I'm playing with all the randomized civilizations. So let's see, who are we going to get? Okay, so we got Ramses, which is not a civilization I ever played on the channel before. He gets plus 20% production towards World Wonder Construction, or towards Wonder Construction in general. This counts for National Wonders too. This actually stacks nicely with Tradition. He also gets the World Chariot, which is bad and should feel bad. This is a replacement for a regular Chariot Archer, which is just not very useful because it gets outdated on DT almost instantly. He also gets the Burial Tomb, which is a replacement for the Temple, and unlike the Temple, it requires no maintenance and gives you extra +2 happiness that the Temple does not. It also doubles the gold given to the enemy if the city is captured, which is not a super useful effect for you. So anyway, that's Ramses. And let's have a look at our starting location. We do have 3 luxuries, 2 different ones. These are the new ones, Amber and Coffee. Let's go right here. We have some Tundra, which I'm not a huge fan of. This is a lake. Alright, well, this is the starting location. I'm not sure if I want to move or not. I don't like this Tundra to the south. The temperature was set to random, so it's quite possible that we got cold world. Or it's possible that we're close to the South Pole. Anyway, that's the game number 3. I'm going to save this and generate game number 4. See you then. Okay, game number 4 is going to use the same exact mod set as the previous one, so no modded civilizations, extra luxuries, extra pantheons, Info Addict and Smart AI, and no other mods other than that. This is the same exact mod list the previous game had. The map template I'm going to use for this one is Oval, which is just an oval-shaped Pangea with random base carving into the sides, as you can see in the description. I decided to stick with large map size, just to make every single game in this poll large map size, epic game pace and DT difficulty. I'm using all the randomized AIs. I'm going to set resources to standard, sea level to high, because again, I don't mind naval warfare, especially with Smart AI. I just don't want it to dominate the game. And I'll set world age, temperature and rainfall to random. So let's get started and see who we're going to get for this game. Okay, so we got William, which is actually not a civilization I ever played before, recorded or not. He gets to keep 50% of the happiness benefits from a luxury resource if you sell your last copy, so that can be quite nice for some extra money. He also has the special tile improvement, the polder, which can be built on floodplains or marsh. It gives you more food and with economics also extra production and gold. This is a really awesome tile improvement. And he also gets a Sea Beggar, which is a unique unit, a melee ship, which gets Coastal Raider 2, right from the start. That's actually kind of nice, I guess. So, let's have a look at our starting location. We have 3 luxuries, including 2 different ones. Where do I want to move with this? Warrior. Is this a hill? Yes. Let's move right here then. We'll see a lot more like this. Okay. Is this an ocean? Yes, it is. So I could start a coastal city if I want to. However, I would probably have to waste 2 turns to get there. I don't have any marsh tiles, which is kind of disappointing. Oh well, I guess that's how it goes. So this is game number 4, I'm going to save this. You will find a link to the poll in the description below. I will probably leave this poll up for a few days. But maybe I'll start faster if it's obvious who's going to win. But either way, feel free to vote, the link is in the description below. The full list of mods that I'm using in various games in here is also in the description below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.